Okay, let's go in definition tab of the Entrapass Global, and here you have some option that you're not used to, right? I We used to schedule, but remember what we just said earlier is that when you enable the advanced schedule, right, the schedule that you're about to create will be available to any door, right, any controller on the global gateway. Okay, that's number one. We keep moving. Virtual alarm system. Here, okay, that's where you're going to, you are able to use the controller, relay module, output module, input module, the door, right, and set up, create your custom alarm system. That's pretty much what it is, right? So let's just imagine that you have a KT400 controller or KT1 controller. To a KT1, you can add a lot of module, right? If you have version 8 of Entrapass, you can add the IO module, and then to that you can add relay, uh, output module, relay module, and combine those. You right to a KT400, for example, you can have up to 256 input added using input module. You can have 256 combined output relay, and those just and those you can set them and configure them as you can see here. Alarm level, prevent arming. Okay, you can use the reader to arm as arming request. You can, long story short, you can have your own alarm system using the Kentech platform. When you have global under the global gateway, right, using the door input relay as you can see here, and you can have 100 of those alarm systems just to give you an idea on that under that global gateway. Okay, area. Area, my friend, it's an amazing option under the global. Let's take a look at it. So we're talking about the area option, right? And the area is allowing you to apply, you take a look at your design, you take a look at your system, and you have different area in your system, right? You have the lobby, you have reception area, a training room, you have different area. Okay, now it's where you're going to set up the system so you can use and get the maximum out of your system to area. Let's, for example, we have that location here. Let's say, as you can see here, let's say here, it's where you access the location. That's an entry reader there, and we put an exit reader. So you can get in, you can get out. Okay, let's say we call that reception. So you enter there, you leave, or there is another door, okay, to get inside the offices area. Okay, now you have different room there. You even have a stair to go to the second floor, for example. Okay, so far I could say I have the outside area, then I have the lobby. So I have two area. Then I can call that whole space the office area, and I can say here I have a door to go to the second floor. Okay, so I'm gonna say when I swipe to that door, I go up to the second floor, and I even have a reader to get back. When I come down from the second floor, I can swipe to that reader, and I am back to another area. Now, let's give some name. I mean, just to make it simple, I have area 1, which is outside, for example. Okay, I have 2, we'll say 3, and we'll say 4. All right, now it's just basically taking a look at your design and see physically, practically, when you go through, okay, what happened. When I come on the morning from the outside, I get to the reader, I swipe, and now I am in the reception. If I am going to the software and I look where is Jocelyn, I'm gonna find Jocelyn in reception area. So I'm creating an outside area, reception area, offices area, second floor. Okay, now I'm missing something, because right now I can get in reception. Okay, and when I swipe to that blue reader here, I am in offices. I can keep moving. Okay, but so far in offices I don't have a reader to leave the area. Okay, that's not a problem. It's just what matters is that we understand the situation, and then we apply that design to the programming, which means when I'm going to do that reader, I don't have necessarily need to set it so when I enter that area, because if I create a way to enter the area, I have to create a way, I have to get a way to leave the area. That's right. So how you enter to a place and you cannot leave. Okay, so it's just, we did it that way just to make sure we understand what matters is that you have your physical right setup matching your logical programming, the programming you're going to have in the system itself. So here we have area. It's just a matter of name. We could say 1, 2, 3. Of course, we don't do it that way. We put the name, very helpful in your design. So we can say second floor area, office area, lobby area. We do the design accordingly, so it's clear for not only the one doing it, because while you're doing it, you remember. But it's way different when you come back about a couple of months later, no? You better have everything done right the first time. Okay, so we're taking a look at that area option. Let's get back to the Entrapass and see how it goes. Now, in the Entrapass, right, as you can see here, we go to definition area. We are in area. Let's make an example. I'm gonna say outside, for example. I'm creating an area outside, and here I have what they call, after I add the name, of course, I have the option on the general tab. I have passback, is whether or not we have anti-passback. In global, there is no soft anti-passback. It's hard anti-passback or hard, right? So it's either you do have anti-passback or you don't. So we have known, we have normal, we have supervisor, we have normal and supervisor, right? If you say normal, that means for people to enter or to leave, they will have to follow, make sure they follow the rule, all right? Supervisor, it's anti-passback, and on the top of that, that person has to get a specific level assigned to his profile. Normal and so on. Of course, those are some area options. We could spend some time here. Okay, we have, for example, you can define here the supervisor level, because here we said supervisor, right? If I set that area and I say supervisor, now I have to say what type of supervisor. I can say the supervisor need to be, supervisor is an user. Let me show you right away so we clear that up. In global, a user, additionally of what you already know on the user, right? But you also have, okay, more option. For example, you have what they call supervisor, and they have 15 different level of supervision. So you might create an area and say that the supervisor level 15. You need to have that level to be able to access that room. And you also have what they call privilege operation. That's something on the top. And as you can see here, that works under the global gateway. Okay, let's get back to area. Where do we find that? Remember, definition, area, that's where we, okay, we were creating, so we was looking at some option. Some more, you could use relay and add some kind of relationship between the area and the relay. For example, let's say I have the training room, right? And I want when the teacher in the morning, well, whatever the time the teacher swipe to the reader, maybe I want that to activate the relay and the relay turn on the light, right? Power on the AC. And as you can see, there is some more option there also. I can set the area and say if it's an area and there is a limit of person, let's say you have a room and for some reason you need to have a quantity of person, you cannot have more than that, no problem. You create the area, you come on that tab there and you said, you go in where it says maximum number allowed, you put the number, and then it means which it's reached that number, the next person who swipe will have access denied because the area is full. And on the top of that, you could also add a relay, and so you have a LED or a sign outside when the area is full, it turn on, and you can see full. Just programming, right? Okay, you also have some more options there. So we are looking at some area. Now, adding to that, you could add way more requirement on that area. For example, you could add what they call multiple card to open an area. We're not talking about the dual custody there. We're going to take a look at dual custody soon. But here is where you can say, listen, this is a training room, this is a IT room, and you need 2 or 3 different person to access that room. You can set it there. As you can see, you can go from 2 to 15 to open the area. Open the area, which means the area is so you can access the door. Okay, let's move on. Oh, let's create one. Let's say this one we were saying that's outside area. Outside. Okay. And I leave it like that, no pass back. And then I'm going to create the lobby. Okay, and I say I want pass back in that. And then let's say I create, there was something called second floor, no? Second floor. Okay, I mean we can create, here it's, as you can see, we're creating the area. We didn't assign them to stuff yet. We'll get to the area, actually, you know what, let's finish with the area part. Now, let's take a look on how we apply the area and what we can have. Of course, oops, sorry. I go device door, give you a quick example. The idea was to make a short video, and that doesn't look like to be short at all. global connection, the controller, and let's say lobby, the lobby door. Okay, and here I come to a tab called access and area that you don't have in any other Entrapass, right? All right, so first on the right side I see area before I get to the lobby. Where I coming from? I come from the outside. After I am in the lobby. That's it. That's why when I was explaining, you do your design and you see it through the same step the user follow. And then you're going to apply that in your programming. That's it. That's the area, and also pretty much everything else in global is that way. It's you're able under the global when you're working on global function, you just take the reality there and you apply it on your programming. And now remember there is an option called two-man's rules. Two-man's rules in corporate, in special, that's where you set up a door and you add that requirement that you need two different users to access that door. Very simple. You go to the door and you say two-man rule, you put a schedule there and that's it. In corporate and special edition, that allow you to put the obligation, the requirement to have two different users. Of course, the user need to have access to the door, but if the user come by themselves, they're not going to have access. They need to be minimum two, but that can be two any user. In global, you are able to say additionally that two, what we call dual custody, for example, let's take a look here, right? You're able to say, to specify two different groups that can be the security and a person in the security group and a person, another user in the administration. That can be somebody in the maintenance, somebody in IT department. You can set which type of user for each, right? So here, that's where you do, how you do that. You select the access level. That's how you select which access level need each of those two person. Yeah? Or, well, of course, there is more, but that's that's gonna be pretty almost. Let's talk about one more thing. There is a common issue in access control system. Sometimes you do your anti-pass back, right? And then the user, what they do, they realize that in order for them to re-enter, they have to swipe out. And sometimes what they do, they go to the door, they swipe, and they enter. They come to the reader, they swipe, they open the door, but they don't go out. They just pass the card to their friend, and the friend can enter. At the end, in the system, you see there is one person, but there is two person there, or three, because they can repeat that as long as they leave, right? And sometimes customer tell you, and it's not something in Kentech, it's a common situation in access control. We resolve that with what we call time anti-pass back. What that mean? That mean, okay, no problem. You come, you enter, okay, you swipe out, you follow the rule, perfect. Now, if you want to re-enter again, that's where you can set a time. For example, you can set it, so you have to wait. You can set it up to 4 minutes. Because when people start standing by the door because they cannot enter, now the security guy can come and say, may I help you? What's going on? And stuff like that. That's what they call time anti-pass back. Now, just before we get out of the area part, when we set up anti-pass back, very interesting when you have your door under the global gateway is that it doesn't matter which controller where the door is connected to. Because remember, when you have corporate, when you have special edition, if you have two controllers, let's say I have two KT400 and I have 4 door in one, 4 door in another, these are where you end up with at least 2 different anti-pass back. Even if you want to set the anti-pass back in the 8 door, if the person, you have to make sure your design it's done the way that those four doors they are in an area, and if you have other door to go to other controller, so you will have to move those doors to the same controller in order for you to make sure the anti-pass back is working 100%. Now, of course, that works fine if you go up to four doors. You can go up to 8 reader if you have a KT400 with in and out. Now, if you have more than 8 reader, if you have two different controller, now you have two different area of anti-pass back. In global, as long as the door they are under the same gateway, you can have the same anti-pass back. What that mean? That mean if somebody swipe to the first floor, right? They swipe together with a friend, they get to the first floor, and they go up, let's say to the floor 10, they enter with, right, to the floor 10, and they happen to leave without swiping on the exit reader on the 10th floor. That means they're still in the 10th floor. Now, if they get to the exit door on the first floor, they cannot get out. Because, I mean, how did you get to the first floor if you're still in the floor 10? You need to go see security. We're going to make sure to remind you that you need to follow the rules. That is what we can say shortly about global anti-pass back, right? So if you need your anti-pass back to work, no matter what controller, where is connected the door, you need global.